And just like we did the addition with the fraction circles, I want to show this subtraction, right? We were working on 4/3 minus 7/8. So here we go. We have 3/3 and 1, right? 4/3 and 7/8. So here's another way where understanding subtraction as a comparison is really helpful. If I put the 7/8 on top of the whole, right, I see I have this amount of space left over. Here, I'll do it in red. Oopsie. Right? This amount of space plus that amount of space. And how much is that, right? So again, I don't necessarily know, or it's not completely obvious or intuitive necessarily with my fraction circles with this tool. So that's where the tools that you have to define the whole, the pattern blocks and the Cuisenaire rods might be more helpful in this idea of creating that rationale for finding a common denominator. It's not completely intuitive or obvious what it is, what this leftovers are. But what we can see is these two little slivers here, just like in the last one, right? When we're comparing the sevenths and the thirds. Well, how much is that space? And so that's where you can explore. And so remember, make sure the same size whole, and or talk about, well, what would be the common denominator, or just even guess and check, right? If we think about eighths and thirds, now if we overlay 24ths, we see, oh, I should have left that marker there, right? Let me outline this right here in red, or color it in because my outline wasn't very good. And now look at that. It's exactly one of those little slivers, right? One of these 24ths. So here we can think about, all right, we want 1, 2, 3 24ths there. And then we also want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? 8 24ths there, right? The whole third. So the difference was, right, all that the blue here and that I marked in, I highlighted in red. So this blue space up there and this blue space down here, if we put those two blue spaces together, we get this 11 24ths. So again, not as intuitively seen necessarily as with, once we define the whole and created those common denominators, even kind of unknowingly, it was a little bit easier to see, but all of the models help to provide that rationale for needing common denominators. I don't know what this little space is, or what this leftover space is. I have to put it together to find out. And the only way is to see what that space is to have this whole, as we have here, right? This whole that's defined right here. We can see, right, this one whole can show thirds and eighths, just like in the set model and in the pattern blocks and in the Cuisenaire rods, right? When we had to define the whole to show both of those denominators, we also had to do the same thing with the fraction circles. I will now challenge you to try it with the fraction bars here. How is that different? How is it the same? Can you show the exact same subtraction? And then this idea of a common denominator, needing to find the 24ths to find the exact difference between these fractions, 4/3 and 7/8.